The Yawgmoth matchup is actually pretty difficult, dare I say unfavored when it comes to playing against Agatha's Soul Cauldron. The deck just has too many angles and too many cool routes to beat you, but doesn't mean you don't have game yourself when it comes to playing Mill, especially when you got a million crabs out on the battlefield. This is another set of games from the LGS this week. I hope you enjoy the paper content. At some point I'll include life totals, but for now you get the regular hand cam in the field. Enjoy. We're playing some Yawgmoth versus Mill today. We get to look at a hand that we think is pretty dang good. 2 crabs, 2 lands, some archive trap, Tasha's visions. Come on, it's too good. It's too good. 3 lands, I should say. Opponent goes kind of shock into the Yawgmoth. Not a great fatal push targets. I'm happy I don't have the removal, but play out my second crab here, and you're going to see that be a theme in terms of playing out crabs this whole round. Get them to mill 6. We're doing good stuff. 2 lands comes out into the Wall of Roots. Now thinking, okay, Yawgmoth's coming out next turn. Tutor could come out next turn as well. So this hand is okay. They need a fetch. Let's be honest here. Like, I need this archive trap enabled. We play another crab and great, we get them to mill 9. Look, but there's a lot that they still have left in their deck, and it really depends on what they do this round. Now our opponent actually does play a fetch land here, which is fantastic. That's going to enable my archive trap, which goes into my visions. Maybe I can draw into another archive trap. But if they don't do anything, then this becomes a little tricky, because then there could be a Bowmasters in hand that they punish me with. But regardless, they fetch here, look for themselves for a land, and really Yawgmoth and Tutor Grist is actually really annoying too, considering how much I am going to mill them. If I can't beat them on that ultimate, then it's going to be really frustrating there as well. I mean, hey, we might get lucky and Grist mills over another Grist and they just keep going and we mill over a bunch of cards too. You know what I mean? It could work out. Let them keep their deck after the cut there. They actually kind of pay out a bunch of mana here and they go for the Tutor. So you're seeing it off screen, but they're going to Tutor X equals 3. So X equals 3. I'm not going to cast the Archive Trap in response here. They're actually going to get out a Grist. So the reason is, if I cast the Archive Trap and they get Endurance, I'd rather the Endurance hit the battlefield first, then, kind of they shuffle, then I hit them with the Archive Trap. So I hit them with the trap, they're tapped out, I have visions to draw 3. Everything works out in that sense. And kind of after they kind of mill out the Agatha Soul Cauldron here, they're going to create the insect token. I'm going to untap into the 4th crab, by the way, if that wasn't obvious. Now one of the crabs is going to go a little off screen. I'm going to play a fetch land that I have, and I'm going to get them to mill for 24. Ask them, count it out, buddy. Is 24 what's left in your deck? Absolutely not. So we're going to move into some sideboard here, and really what I'm thinking about moving into these sideboards is this is a matchup that you generally overboard with. So if you're playing my list anyway, you got like the 4 Extirpates, the 4 Soul Guides, like Crypt Incursion, and honestly Knight of Souls Betrayal is exactly for this matchup. But if you want to see that guide, you got to join the Mill Discord, get the Mill primer that I have going right now. Sideboard guide is available with that as well, for those of you looking to just get some direction with the whole archetype itself. Now we're going to start some shuffling up, and I really want to shuffle it good. I don't want a cluster of like Extirpates coming into my hand. So we're going to go into that. Our opponent's going to take the play away from us. We're going to draw our 7, and we find one that actually isn't terribly bad here. It's actually like pretty like half decent, honestly. So we're going to keep that. They're going to do some mulliganing as well, which is great. That's less resources for them, especially because they're on the play. It's going to be less cards for them to draw, and I really like the fact that we're able to keep a 7 against against a deck like this. Find ourselves a fatal push off the top, if you notice that on the far side, which is great. We also have the Preordain to draw into some stuff if we need to. We draw ourselves into another spell, which isn't great. I kept a 1-lander to try and look for other lands. I do manage to find the Oboro off the top, milled them for that much, and then cast another crab. Now we're going to be stuck on some lands for a little bit, but generally speaking, I think if our opponent doesn't present a threat, we should be okay. Now our opponent keeps going from here. They do cast this Agatha Soul Cauldron off the side here, and what they're going to do is, with the Soul Guide Lantern on the stack, they're going to kind of tap out and hit the Yawgmoth that's in their graveyard. Unfortunate, I don't have a way to punish that, and I'm thinking, wait, I can't activate this, right? Like, this is on the stack, so what am I doing tapping this? So anyway, underneath the Soul Cauldron goes that, and unfortunately at this point, the Soul Guide Lantern entered, so I exile out the Wall of Roots, so they don't get like double Wall of Roots in all their cards, but they're actually off to a pretty good start so far. Wall of Roots comes out again. Remember, the Agatha Soul Cauldron is in the far side. Again, my apologies for just the angle itself, not being able to grab the whole battlefield here. Something I have to be definitely more cognizant of kind of next time I record here. Just was trying to get like a closer angle in general, but get them to mill 6. I find myself a Field of Ruin. I'm thinking if I should activate it now, but really I need to develop my mana. I need to get different colors here. So I need to get my Black Sword so I can start casting my Fatal Pushes, my Extirpates and everything. So we're going to get them to mill, punish them on their mana just a bit, but they do have Wall of Roots, so it's not really punishing them. They have all the green they need. So at this point, I have my Fatal Push available to me if things get too crazy, and then kind of on their end step, they're going to get out an Orcish Bowmaster, which is fine. I have the Fatal Push for it, so, you know, let the Bowmasters resolve, and then I'm going to Fatal Push it. Don't have a counter for it with black. So they create themselves a little orc army that could grow in the future, but for now, honestly, like you know, they're gonna sack and sorry, I thought they were killing my crab, but they're just putting like a -1/-1 counter on it with the Yawgmoth. So again, Agatha Soul Cauldron on the battlefield with the Yawgmoth exiled underneath it puts a 1/1 counter on it. So you start seeing the pressure that these crabs actually present. Like, yeah, they have the Yawgmoth thing going on right now, but like, other than that, like, really they have to worry about these crabs untapping and milling them out like crazy. Like, if I can find another blue source, especially a fetch land, mill them out for like 12 cards, then like 14 off the Fractured Sanity in my hand, that's insane. And then I can start doing some math. Like, if they have cards left, I have the Extirpate with my Black Source to take some stuff out. Anyway, I'm kind of spoiling what's going to happen here, by the way, if that wasn't already clear. Opponent's doing a bunch of mental math here. I'm going to untap into that fetch land that I was talking about here. And this is where I kind of just present everything to my opponent here. They kind of mill 6 off the initial here, and I started doing some math. They count out their deck. I believe it was like something around like 20 to 21. So like, I believe I had exact lethal, but I wanted to be really sure here. And just in case there was any stop to anything, I wanted to make sure that, you know, at least I get my crab triggers on the stack. So I fetch first, get the crab triggers on the stack before I do anything too crazy, present them with the cut. And then what I'm going to do is look through their exile, count some numbers. I see ultimately that Orcish Bowmasters is the hit that I want here. It's a card that I'm going to be able to get a 4 of. So I extirpate out the Orcish Bowmasters. If we need a grind in this game, that's not a card that I generally can beat with top deck. So we're going to get all that out, and we see like 3 copies of Endurance left in the deck. So that's not fun. And now we're going to present with the Fractured Sanity. I'm just going to say, look, you can draw a card, right? Let's be honest here. And the mill is coming out. So draw your card, see if you can kind of draw your Endurance. If you do it, we'll go to game 3, right? That's fine. Like, we'll go to game 3. Your board is kind of insane. You have a Yawgmoth under that. So they'll sack that. They will draw a card. And from there, they draw themselves a land. And it does not work out. That is GG's. Thank you, opponent. Thank you, everyone, for watching. If you want to see more stuff like this, like, comment, subscribe below. Thank you.